little bit different because usually you're given the equation and then asked for things like the focus and vertex for conic sections. Here, we work backwards. So first I would sketch a graph of what we're given. So one is there's a focus point at 0, -1. There's a focus point at 8, -1. A vertex, or an endpoint, at 9, -1. So since this thing is symmetric, this is 1 unit over. That means if you go 1 unit over this way, there's the other vertex. So the focus points are always on the main axis. That means that this thing is going to be sort of a long, skinny ellipse. Next thing to do is we need to find out where's the center. So from 9 to -1 is a length of 10. That means the center is 5 units away. So 5 units away from this is a 4. So the center is at 4, -1. So I can already start creating my equation. It's going to be x minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 1. So the center will be at 4, -1. And if I stopped right now, that would create a circle with a radius of 1. What I need to do now is, instead of a circle, I need to stretch it to become an ellipse. So I need to divide this by a squared and divide this by b squared. Well, if you look at the picture, we've got from the center to the focus point. That is called the length c. And if you go from the center all the way to the vertex, that is going to be the length a. So a goes from 4 to 9, c goes from 4 to 8. Now we can use the formula over here in my scratch paper. C squared is equal to a squared minus b squared when you're talking about an ellipse. So this sign in this formula is the opposite of this one. So c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. If you're ever doing this formula and you come out with a complex number, or imaginary number, then you got the a and the b switched. The general rule is the a is the bigger one. In this case, that's going in the x direction. So the bigger number is going to go under the x. If it was tall and flipped the other way, then the bigger number would go under the y. The a squared would go under the y. So then subtract, or what I could do is move the b squared over here so it's positive, and then subtract 16, and we're about done. You don't need to solve for b because what goes under here is not b, but what goes under here is b squared, so that's a 9. And then what goes under here is a squared, so that's going to be 25. So there is the equation of the ellipse asked for.